Hey everybody, this is actually Anne-Marie from Zebra Pen. Shelly will take on the floor in just a minute. We just wanted to say thank you so much for joining us today. We're so excited to have you here and to have Shelly here to teach this great class. As Kelly said, we're going to be here in the chat. If you have any questions, definitely just jump in and ask a question. And Shelly will also be checking the chat periodically throughout the class. So thanks so much and enjoy.
Awesome. Thank you, Anne-Marie. And thank you everyone for joining. I'm super excited to basically doodle and letter some fun things together. So a couple of things I'd love to know where you're all tuning in from. I know a few of you have already mentioned it in the chat box. So amazing. We have a few people from California, yay, and North Carolina. So awesome. And Florida. I love that we can just kind of come together and use this time to just explore our creativity, our creative outlet, and just have fun together. This is like so amazing. We also have a few people. Oh, hi, Jade. Hello. A few people from New York and New Jersey. Also amazing. So a couple of things. I'm Shelly. I'm also known as Letters by Shells on social media as well. And I'm super excited to be working with Zebra Pen for this fun workshop that we decided to put on. So a couple of things, we're going to be exploring fun fall illustrations along with hand lettering as well. And a couple of things, I did create this template for you all. It was available on the sign up page. If you don't have that, you can feel free to print it out. We're going to go ahead and use it just to like have like a practice guide. And then we can also go ahead, if you don't want to print it out, you can just have it up on your screen for reference as well. But so far, any questions? I hope you're super excited on getting started. Feel free if you have questions about any of the products that I'm using or just about the class, feel free to type it in the chat box as well. And then we'll go ahead and review them. But yeah, so we'll get started in a few minutes, but a couple of things. If you don't know who I am, again, I'm Shelly, and my business and like what I do with my art is just focusing on spreading love and positivity through hand lettering and fun illustrations that I do, whether that's watercolor or just drawing or coloring as well. So yeah, if you like to connect, feel free to reach out to me after the workshop. And then if you also have like fun examples of things that we create today, I would love to see them as well. If you can tag me over at Letters by Shells and over at Zebra Pen as well. Anne-Marie, if you want to type in your Instagram handle for Zebra Pen, that would be so awesome, so everyone can follow along as well. But yeah, I'm so excited. So let's go ahead, and I'm going to, on my screen, let me go ahead and share a couple of things. So I'm going to share what I see on my end, which is the doc reader here. So a couple of things. This is what we're going to be creating today. And we'll go ahead and kind of break it down in terms of like the composition and how to start the lettering process first, along with the illustrations. So then you should still see me in like a small little square along with the screen. Let me go ahead and get my chat box also. Give me all a second. Yay. Okay. Okay, so with this, I think it would be kind of just like very simple to kind of go ahead and explain the process of the lettering that I created for the class, along with the illustration doodles as well. All right, so when it comes to the hand lettering portion, this is like a design that I wanted to create to make it more fun. So basically my focus was to kind of have some emphasis on the lettering aspect also. So I wanted to make sure that there was like fun loops involved, along with the just like the way the layout was also. So if you have this already printed out, let's go ahead and kind of use it together. So I'm going to go ahead and start with the letter G. So I'm going to start with my stroke right here, which is the oval form. I'm going to start up here and then go down to create that oval, just like that. And then I'm going to go back up. And then this is where I'll go ahead and now create that tail for the letter G and bringing that loop over. And feel free, if you need to take multiple breaks doing this, feel free to do so. We're just kind of doing some warm-ups to get our muscle memory down and kind of just get the habit of what we're going to be doing for the lettering process. So now the letter I, like that, and then the V, and bringing that over, adding a loop right there, and bring it all the way over, and then your letter E. Awesome. And then lastly, we're going to go ahead and do the word thanks. So with this process of hand lettering, we're going to be doing something called faux calligraphy, where we're going to be writing the lettering phrase with one pressure only, and then we're going to go back and adding our thickness strokes to kind of make it achieve like it looks like modern calligraphy. So I'm going to go ahead and just kind of getting the muscle memory down. And then starting up here and bringing all the way over to dot letter K. And then lastly, the letter S. Just like that. So now that you kind of get that portion down, developing that muscle memory, then we can kind of go ahead and identify down here where are going to be the downstrokes. You'll see that for the downstrokes, it's going to be like the pink outline where we're going to be drawing the additional strokes. So I'm going to go ahead and do this one more time. It's just like more practice. And feel free, if you have questions about this process, feel free to type it in the chat box as well. And then you'll see that I went ahead and wrote the word give in just one pressure. And now I'm identifying all the downstrokes. So the downstrokes would be right here, and just drawing a parallel line next to that stroke. And then another parallel line next to this one as well. And then another parallel line. Just kind of like identifying again the heavy pressure strokes and making sure that we can kind of emphasize the different pressures. So the reason why I'm doing this with faux calligraphy process is because typically when you use like a regular brush pen marker, you'll apply heavy pressure for your downstrokes and light pressure for your upstrokes. So this is a way that we could do it. It's because we're going to be like drawing like a bigger scale item, and it's just like a lot easier to use regular markers. So you'll see that I'm going to go ahead and fill in now the downstrokes here. So when I fill it in, basically it kind of gives that feel and effect that we used like a brush pen to do the calligraphy techniques. Just like that. So then let's go ahead and write the word thanks. And then it's going to be like the same thing where you identify the downstrokes as well. So I'm not going to fill in this one. It just like depends. If you want to fill it in, you can. For the final project piece, I will be filling it in, but if you don't want to right now, you don't have to. I feel like it also kind of gives like a different feel as well. Yeah. So like whenever I do my downstrokes with the faux calligraphy process, sometimes I make my downstrokes way too thick. So definitely don't overthink it. Just have like an equal like distance between like the first stroke that you do, and just kind of continue that with all the other remaining letters as well. But yeah, I hope that this process is kind of like just like fun to do and developing like a different style of hand lettering. So now with the illustration portion, which is going to be down here, I just want to go ahead and talk a little bit about my breakdown of how I would approach drawing the illustrations. So for pumpkin illustration, typically I like to draw the center point first. So it's just like a long ovalish shape. And I'll draw the center point first, and then I'll go ahead and start on the left-hand side and draw the additional edge. And then on the right-hand side, I'll go ahead and draw it again like that. And then I'll just kind of like go back and going like one side and then go back to the other side. And this way I can kind of determine, okay, is it going to be balanced from like left to right? Then after I do that, then I'll go ahead and draw the little stem right here and then the little vine. Yeah. So then the next portion of the leaf here, I feel like when I was growing up, drawing fall leaves always like terrified me because I felt like it was like so scary how to approach doing that. So the best way that I think it's like the easiest to go about doing this is that I like to draw the stem first and then the inside of the leaf details. So I'll go ahead and draw my stroke first, and then I'll draw these little individual strokes inside the leaf. And then after I do that, then I can kind of now utilize the details from inside the leaf and now kind of go drawing like a shape around that. So you'll see that I'll start from the bottom right here. And I'm just going to just like draw some like really curved lines and not making it like super perfect, but just like curves and just basically going around the details. Yeah, so then now the next portion is the next leaf, which is just like a fun little leaf here. I'll start the stem first again like that. And then the leaves are almost like teardrop almond shapes. So I'll start with one end first, extend out like that, and then extend back out this way. And then I like to also just like start from like left to right. So I'll draw one leaf, and then on the right-hand side, draw another leaf petal. And just kind of continue that same motion where I'm doing like that almond shape, and then afterwards I'll fill in the details inside the leaf. Yeah, so then this portion right here, we're gonna go ahead and draw the stem first. And then now we're gonna go ahead and draw another big teardrop shape. So I'm gonna go on the left-hand side, drawing a teardrop shape, and then drawing another teardrop shape on the right-hand side, just kind of bringing it back down. And when I bring it back together, I'm just going to draw like a loop inside, just to kind of give it like a different feel effect as well. So just drawing a small loop like that. Awesome. Any questions so far with the lettering portion and the leaf illustrations? We still have a couple more leaves, and I'll do like another drawing breakdown for our final piece as well, so you can kind of get more practice in. Yeah, if you have questions, feel free to type it in the chat box for me, and then we can go ahead and follow along. So now we're going to go ahead and draw this additional leaf right here. So I'm going to draw the stem first, and just kind of drawing the inside of the leaf again, like the details. So that way I kind of know how much distance to draw the outside leaf. So I'll start down here and then go back out and then in, almost like drawing an upside down heart. And then lastly, or a couple of things, we're going to draw some berries. So with the berries, I like to just draw like the stems first. It just becomes a little bit more easier, and then just draw circles at the very end. That. And then this other leaf, we're going to be drawing some like really small, but like really long shaped leaves. So I'm going to draw the stem again first, and then starting at the very top right here, drawing like a really extended teardrop shape. And then now going from like left to right and drawing the additional leaf petals. And you can kind of keep them more distance if you'd like. Feel free to have fun with it and make some of the leaves a lot smaller in size, and some a lot larger. Just like that. And then the last leaf is basically going to be this one, where I'll draw the stem first again. This one, I'm actually going to go ahead and draw like the outside leaf first. So you'll see kind of like the idea of this leaf shape is almost like this, where it's like really similar to this one that we did earlier, but just a lot more narrow. So kind of keeping that shape in mind, we're just going to go ahead and add some like curves and just like not straight edges to it, because if you like see leaves in real life, you'll see that they all look very different and they're not super perfect from like the left side to the right side. So I'll start down here again and just kind of draw some like really fun shapes, extend out and kind of just draw some fun shapes. And then afterwards, I'm going to draw the inside lines now, just to kind of add some more details to it. Just like that. Awesome. So any questions so far with this whole process? Again, this is also available as like a download. I believe that Anne-Marie also linked it as well if you want to keep the template for future reference. And then we're going to keep this handy. And then I'm going to go ahead and now bring in this final piece here. So with this portion, I know it can be kind of like intimidating starting a piece. So what I like to do is just really break it all down. So just like what we did here, where I broke down each of the illustrations and elements that we're going to be drawing for this portion, especially when I pair hand lettering and an illustration, I like to actually pair it with, or I'll start my process by doing the lettering portion first. That way I know that it's centered on the piece. And now after I do that, I can kind of work around how much illustrations do I want to draw around that hand lettering piece. And then I'll go ahead and start with the bigger elements like the pumpkins first and like the bigger leaves. And then we'll kind of like work our way down. If there's like additional negative space to fill in, then maybe I might pair it with like small little like stars or dots and like berries and stuff like that. Yeah, so I'm gonna go ahead and bring in this regular paper here. The paper that I'm using, it's like a mixed media paper, and it's like about like 9 by 12 in dimension. So we're doing like a fall themed placemat, but these can also be used for like a wall art print, or maybe if you want to do like a smaller scale one, you can always like make it into like a card and gift it to somebody. I feel like the possibilities are endless here, and yeah, you can definitely do whatever you want with the piece as well. So then I'm going to go ahead and let me grab it again. So using a pencil, I'm going to sketch everything out first. I hope you all don't mind that process. If you want to just kind of use regular markers and ink, feel free to do so. I like to sketch everything out just so that way I know visually how everything's going to be placed before I kind of make it permanent by using the markers to color everything in. So with that process, I'm going to go ahead and using my template, feel free to write the word give thanks. So I'm going to start my word give. I'm going to try to draw around the center point of the paper here. So I'm going to just draw my little hand lettering process. And honestly, you can also write any phrase as well. It doesn't have to be give thanks. But I'm going to use pencil first so that way I can kind of see how the placement is. And like, let's say if I don't like it, then I can use it as a guideline and just erase it afterwards. And then the word thanks. So the word give is going to be more on like the left-hand side, and the word thanks, I'm going to start not underneath the word G, but underneath the word I. And then bring this connection over. And the K. That. And that's kind of like my goal here. And then also a tip that I like to do is that, like, let's say I like the way that I wrote it, but I don't want to erase it and it's not quite centered, what you can do is write it first and then just kind of cut off the excess page if you want it to be more like centered, for example. But I think I feel good about that. I'm just gonna leave that first and then we'll go ahead and use the markers to finish off the hand lettering portion. But after I go ahead and write the lettering portion first, then I kind of work around, okay, like where exactly can I add the pumpkins and things like that. So for, everyone's different in terms of how to start like a pattern and where you want to like fill in this negative space. I like to actually start on my left hand side and like work my way down towards like the bottom right hand side. So I'll go ahead and draw the first pumpkin. I want to place a pumpkin like right here. So I'm going to draw like this center point ovals first. And then the outer ends. And kind of just like working my way out. And I'm kind of drawing it kind of big because my goal is to also fill in this spacing over here as well. I'm going to draw my little stem and just like that. And if I don't like how I sketched it out, I can also like use the markers to kind of like finalize it as well. So after I drew that pumpkin, I'm going to go ahead and now draw one down here on the bottom right hand side, but maybe kind of angling it in a different direction as a first pumpkin that I drew. So I'm going to go ahead and maybe draw it right down here. So I like to do light sketches, but I don't think I'm doing light sketches. That's okay, because I can always erase it after. Okay, so I think that's good. And then drawing the stem. Okay. So then after I do that, then I can kind of see visually. I mean, like draw more pumpkins. We can do one up here or whatnot. But if you want to follow the example that was provided, we can go ahead and draw one up here. So I'm going to draw another pumpkin. So you'll see I drew the center point first and then the left-hand side and then the right. And drawing another end here. This one's not going to have like a stem. Or I guess we could. We can do like one on this end and one on the other end. That. So then now the next portion is we can go ahead and now break it down. So we drew the pumpkin first. Let's go ahead and now draw the second leaf or like the first leaf that we drew. So this one, and then we'll start drawing that. So with that one, I'm going to go ahead and start one up here, left-hand side again. So I'll draw my placement. Again, just remember to draw like the stem first and then the inside details, just to kind of make it easier to follow along. And then after you do that, then we can kind of work our way around, starting at the bottom and just drawing like rough edges and going kind of just outlining the inside details of the leaf. That. And then we're going to go ahead and, so after I do one up here, I can go ahead and draw one down here as well, maybe making it like a little bit bigger. And honestly, if you don't want to do a pattern, you can also just do like a couple of elements with the hand lettering as well. And that's also super fun. So I'm just going to kind of like work my way through now using like the other illustration of the leaves. Let's go ahead and draw one on the left-hand side here, kind of like upside down. So you might see that I might like go back and forth between some of the leaves. I hope you all don't mind. But I'm going to try to draw this upside down. You can turn your paper around, of course, to make it a little bit easier. I just want you all to see what I'm drawing. That. So this one only has like the 3 leaves. I think the example had 5 leaves, but I think you kind of like play around with it. So then I can draw one right here and then maybe another one up here. Just like teardrop shapes. So far, after drawing a couple of elements, I can kind of like identify, okay, like where exactly is where like I'm missing and have like a lot of negative space. I'll see that I have a lot of negative space down here and up here as well. So then down here, we can draw like a couple more other leaves. Let's go ahead and draw this one where it looks like this. It has like the overall like teardrop shape, but then we kind of drew some like rough edges on the edges of that. And I'm going to have that leaf going upside down than this one. And then kind of just drawing that leaf. Okay. And then I'm going to kind of just like play around with it. Maybe let's go ahead and draw down here. What can we draw down here? We can draw the other leaves that we haven't done yet. So for example, I'm going to draw the ones that have a lot more leaves. So this one where I'll start drawing like the smaller stem or the smaller leaf here, and then just kind of like working my way around. Yeah. I can draw a couple of these because then we haven't done that yet, just kind of like around the piece. So I'm actually going to go ahead and draw a pumpkin here because I'm like so heavy on this like top area. I want to kind of balance out the piece. So I'm going to just draw the pumpkin down here as well. Okay, awesome. So I'm going to start now with this section. I was going to draw another one of these. Maybe I can draw over here. That. And then over here, I'm going to draw one of these leaves up here. That. And kind of just like working my way around. Let's draw a couple more of these leaves. Where it's like this one here. Yeah, so then I like to kind of like use pencil first to kind of visually see exactly where I can place them all and just kind of erase if I need to. So now I'm going to actually, I'm missing, we haven't drawn any of the berries yet. So I can go ahead and add a couple throughout. They're just like really rough sketches. So I'm gonna draw a berry down here. I'll do one down here as well. I'm just like drawing them randomly where I feel like it kind of like fills in that negative space. So I'm having like really big sections here. So we haven't drawn this leaf yet. We haven't actually drawn 2 leaves. We haven't drawn this one or this one. So I'm going to go ahead and draw a couple of those. And go ahead and draw one here. And then it's like the upside down heart. that. And then draw one over here. I'm going to also now draw the other leaf here where it looks like this, and adding that small loop inside. And these ones, like the one leaf ones, you can basically like make them a lot bigger in size or a lot smaller. It's like we can really play around with the sizing. So it's like really fun. Okay, so now I'm kind of almost done with the piece in general, but then I know that I have a couple of negative spaces here. So what we can do is kind of have some elements go off the edge. So I'm going to start down here and I'm going to draw this leaf right here. Little like almond shaped leaves. Where it kind of goes off the edge. And then we're gonna go ahead. I can also like draw like a pumpkin here, just like a half pumpkin. So that's kind of it. And then just drawing that little stem right there. And then we can also draw a couple more other leaves. Yeah. So my goal is just to kind of like fill this area. Maybe we can also have some leaves going off the edge up here. And then, yeah, I hope you're all still having really fun with this. Let me know if you all have any questions. I'm just thinking and saying, okay, where else can I place any of the other elements? Right here on the left-hand side. And then I'm going to go ahead and draw one on up here. I think I'm going to go ahead and stop. Honestly, when it comes to like drawing patterns, I feel like you can draw so many, but then the question is like, when do you stop? So I'm going to go ahead and kind of just stop here and then start filling everything in. And then if we always like want to add more later, we can definitely do so. So now that we sketched everything out, this is typically what I like to do. I like to do the lettering portion first, and we're actually going to go ahead and color in the individual illustrations first, and then afterwards outline it with the black marker to kind of like really make it pop a little bit more. So this is what I'm referring to. So you'll see with this example, I went ahead and drew everything in first, and then I outlined it afterwards. So with this one, feel free to kind of like choose your color palette. The colors that I'm going to be using today is going to be kind of just like, I tried making it like fun and colorful, but I also know it's like really fall, like, but I also wanted to make sure it's like fall themed. So I'm going to choose like the color brown, and then the yellow for like the stars to kind of like add like a different feel to it. Orange, and then this like deeper orange. So I'm using the Zebra Mildliner pens. And then this one, it's like a reddish color. So I feel like they're still remind me of like fall themed colors, but they're also like super fun paired together. I also like to do a couple of the color green. I feel like when it comes to fall, like I know a lot of the leaves change colors, but I live in California and I feel like that's not even a thing. Like all around, they don't really change colors where we live. So I still like to draw some like green leaves and pairing it with fall leaves as well. So those are the colors that I think I'm going to go ahead and choose. I know it's kind of a lot. I might not use all of them, but this is kind of like a palette that I had in mind. And then I have like also like a second color set if I just in case. So I'm going to be using the Mildliners to color everything in. And then if I need to add some more elements, I'm going to be also using the Zebra Clickart pens as well. Like that. I'm going to go ahead and move this off to the side here. Get them ready to use. But using the Clickart pen, it's like a bullet tip pen. I'm going to go ahead and draw in my word give thanks. So I'm going to use this as a template. And then afterwards, I'll go ahead and go back in and draw my heavy pressure downstrokes for the faux calligraphy process. So after I write everything in and color everything in, I won't typically erase it immediately. I want like the ink to all dry before I erase things. So I'll go ahead and probably wait 30 minutes after it's done fully drawing just to make sure before I erase anything. So just kind of like a quick tip, because oftentimes I know that feeling. You draw everything with pencil and then you go back in with the markers and then you start erasing it and it starts smudging and smearing. Yeah, it's not fun. So after I wrote my give thanks, I'm going to go identify the downstrokes and just draw a parallel line where the downstrokes are. And it doesn't matter if you draw like on the inner or outer end, it's totally up to you and like what you think feels comfortable. Then my letter S. Okay, awesome. I had to like hold my breath as I did this because I like didn't want to move or anything. And then afterwards, I'm gonna go ahead and fill in everything. Yeah. I also hope you're all having a fun time still, just using this time to like for yourselves and exploring your creative outlet. I feel like it's super fun because I also feel I don't always have time to do this, and having the opportunity to do it with you all right now, super awesome. Okay, and then my word give. Yeah. Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and make this bottom part a little bit more thicker. Okay. So give thanks. And then now after drawing the hand lettering portion, let's go ahead and start filling everything in. I like to kind of go like one at a time, so that way I don't have to keep like switching the markers as well. But before I do that, I'm going to review the chat boxes to make sure I don't miss anything. Oh, I'm so happy that you're all having so fun doing this. So someone asked about brush markers. Brush markers, you can definitely use it as well. I think it just depends. Brush markers also are really good at coloring everything in. I think for this piece, I like using the Mildliner because it's like a chisel tip and I can kind of alternate and angle it at different pressures. Aw. I love it. Aw, I'm so happy that you're all having so much fun. So now with the chisel tip pen, I'm gonna go ahead and start drawing everything in. So I guess what I mean drawing, coloring it in. So I'm gonna just not roughly like do like the exact pumpkin shape, but you can kind of use the pencil guidelines as just like a guideline, but then you don't always have to like fill it in exactly. So I'll just kind of share what I mean. So you'll see that I'm just kind of drawing like a rough sketch, and and it's okay to kind of go outside the pencil lines because we're gonna just draw the outlines anyways to fill it in. So I'm gonna go ahead and do like a rough sketch. You can go back and fill it in, but you can also like leave some negative space inside the pumpkin illustration. That's fine too. So I'm going to go ahead and do some like rough sketches and just draw using the Mildliners. Okay, so then my goal is to not follow exactly the pencil strokes, but I feel like I'm already doing it. The reason why is because I also want to have some like illustrations kind of offset. So what I mean by that is going back on our example, you'll see that the color of the leaf is kind of outside the outline. So I basically intentionally, when I did the outline, I made sure that it wasn't going to line up exactly where I colored in the leaf. I feel like it also adds just like a really fun element to it as well. So now the pumpkin. That. Okay, so I'm gonna, afterwards now, I'm going to think, okay, am I going to use a color orange for any of the leaves? I don't think just yet. So I'm going to now just skip over, and then I can go ahead and actually use the color brown to color in some of the leaves. So I'm going to use it to color in this leaf. So I kind of have to outline this one first before I color it in. I think it helps me a little bit to do so. So for this one, when you're coloring in using the Mildliner pens, you can do like another layer if you choose to, but you don't have to. I just like to do like one layer of the color. That. And then kind of like working my way down. Do I want to add some of, I think we can also go ahead and use this one right here. And then I'm going to switch over and use my color green and just kind of, I'm going to use it to color in like the teardrop shaped ones. That. And I feel like there's just no right or wrong answer. Honestly, you can use any color you like. I'm going to now draw some up here. Will the pencil erase once it's colored over? That was one of the questions. Super good. I don't typically see that it does erase, so I'll have to kind of like go back and manually do it. But then also, it just kind of depends on how like the sketch is. Sometimes you might not be able to see it, so then I'll just kind of like leave it alone. But then depending on how my outline does, if I do see it, then I might just kind of go back and erase it as well. Okay, I forgot to draw the stems of the pumpkins. So I'm gonna go ahead and take care of that right now. Okay, so now I'm gonna go ahead and use some of the reddish color and just kind of fill in the rest of the spacing. And then, so you'll see that I'm kind of just like visually seeing, okay, I want to be also colorful. So I'm using this color palette and considering where to place individual colors. So like, let's say if I have one down here, then I want to do one up here, and like one on the left-hand side and one on the right-hand side. So that way you can kind of see like my thought process of when I'm coloring everything in. Okay. And then afterwards, I'm going to now feel like I'm like running out of colors, but I know that I'm not. So I'm going to actually use the color yellow and just kind of like brighten up this piece as well. And here. So as I'm coloring this in, I think it's like so funny. I thought I colored in all the pumpkins, but I actually didn't. I like missed one over here on the right-hand side. So I'm going to take care of that as well. Then afterwards, I'm going to see, okay, what colors can I use again as like a repeat? I'm going to actually go back and use like my pink color and just kind of color in the berries right here. I think the berries are going to be all the same colors. You can also use like the color red. I'm just using like this like pink red. I think it's like so fun. Okay, so I'm going to use this color. It's like a lighter green. Okay, so I'm going to now, I could do one right here. Okay, we're almost done with it. Let's see. I think I can actually also use this color for this leaf. And then this one for the color yellow, why not? Okay, I was trying to see if I can color that some other color, but I think I'm just going to use the color brown. And then afterwards, I think we're all set with the coloring in portion. So again, like the bigger the elements you do draw everything, I feel like the less coloring is involved as well. But afterwards, I'm going to go ahead and now use my Clickart Zebra pen and just basically outline everything. So I'm going to go ahead and kind of speed through this process. But if you have any questions with that, please feel free to like ask in the chat box as well. And then one person said, these are going to make cute placemats for Thanksgiving dinner. I think so too. I think it's going to be so fun and just like adds like a personal touch to them. Yeah, so again, when you're outlining, you just remember using the pencil sketches as your outline, and also you can kind of offset the illustrations as well. So when I outline it, I sometimes want to like overthink it, but then I try not to, because not everything is going to be perfect, and that's totally okay. So kind of working my way around. And also, if you don't want to outline it using the color black, you can also like use like really fun colors. Like for example, like the pumpkin color, you can also use like a darker orange, or and like the leaves, you can use like a darker green. I think it just totally the feel that you want to do with it. Sorry, like my hand's kind of in the way. I hope you can kind of still see what I'm doing. I'm like kind of speeding through because I noticed the time. And also using the template, if you want to recreate this, you can also like just draw like a couple of different of the leaves and like a couple pumpkins. It doesn't always have to be like a pattern like this. So I think that's why it's like so fun when you're just like making it, like when everything is like handmade, you're basically in control of like how you want things to be. One design doesn't always have to be the same. Any other questions so far? So I hope you can kind of see like some of the offset designs that I'm doing, so that we can kind of like see, okay, like this one, for example, is a little bit offset. It doesn't all have to be like that, but you can choose some of the elements to do that with. You know, it's like really repetitive, but I feel like outlining these can be super fun and just really relaxing. Awesome. So now I think I outlined everything. So kind of just taking a step back, if like you feel that there is more negative space here. So I'm going to go ahead and kind of go through this process. But I like to kind of pair it with like stars and just like a cluster of 3 dots, kind of like indicating like berries. So you'll see that I'm just gonna work my way throughout this piece. I'm gonna start up here, upper left-hand side, drawing my 3 dots just kind of all around this piece. And I feel like it adds just like a pop of color, and it fills in that negative space as well. So my goal is to try to not have them like so close to each other. So you'll see that I went ahead and really fast did my 3 dots. Gonna use like the color red and add more colors as well. Okay. I think I'm gonna go ahead and stop there, and then adding stars now. So with the stars, I like to just kind of use, for the stars I'm gonna be doing, it's like this, where I feel like it's like the emoji star. The stars are optional. I just feel like it adds a fun touch to it for sure. Okay. And then afterwards, you can always go back and like add different dots as well. So I know that there's like a lot of negative space here, so I can actually use this color. I'm just gonna do like single dots. Sometimes after I do a piece, I kind of have to take a step back and say, okay, where are all the negative spaces where I could potentially fill? But yeah, so that way, now that that's done, okay, I found one right here. You can always go back and now add the details for it as well. So then, but it's like totally up to you. I think with the berries, I'm going to leave it, but I will outline the stars though. And I'm offsetting the stars. Those are all the stars. Yes, it's totally up to you how much you want to outline and add more details to. But yeah, I hope that you all had super like a fun time doing the lettering portion and just drawing like the leaf illustrations. I know a few of y'all are on camera, so I'm going to stop sharing my screen, and I would love to see your beautiful illustrations that you've done. Also amazing. So beautiful. I love it. Oh, I love that. So beautiful. Oh my goodness. I love that we all have like our own versions of it, and this looks so awesome. Yeah, it looks so, so beautiful. Oh, thanks so much for joining. I love it. Thanks so much for just having a great time being here, or I hope that you did. Yeah, feel free to tag us over at Letters by Shells and Zebra Pen _USA, and we would love to repost it on our end. Yeah, any other like thoughts or questions that y'all have before we leave? I'm like so surprised I got that in within the 1 hour. I saw like 10 minutes in and I was like, I haven't colored anything in yet. So I started freaking out. But then we did it. So fun. So the replay of this video should be available on Michael's YouTube. So if you want to watch it again and just do the breakdown, definitely do so. But yeah, I had so much fun. But oh, thanks. I can't believe. Oh, Tina, thanks so much. Oh, Jade, thanks so much for being here. Oh, oh, I love that you're all here. So thank you so much for just your love and support and wanting to learn and just kind of explore something. I guess anything else you want to add, Anne Marie, before we leave, or Kelly?
Just wanted to say thanks so much for joining us today. I really appreciate it. And thank you, Shelley, so much.
Oh, Awesome.
Thanks so much, Shelly. Thank you everyone for joining.
Yeah, thanks so much, everyone. I had the best time. I all hope you have a wonderful rest of your Wednesday today and your week, and just have fun. Remember, take some time for yourself to create and just explore your creativity always. Thanks so much again. I'll see y'all later. Take care. Bye.